from a few days vacation, so let me get our recording started. There we go. And we've got people coming in. Oh, lovely. Love seeing Larry, and we've got some other people from here in California. I'm going to dive right in because I really want to deliver quite a bit of content this morning. And this is content that is a little, well, it's mission driven, okay? And we're going to be talking about what's the value and the kind of the context of your business, the why of it, okay? Now, if you haven't joined us for the show before, welcome to the Product Business Show. And like I said, I'm Amy Winslow. Our company, Products to Profits, specializes in working with inventors and creators of new products, bringing them to market in the United States for large volume sales. And we do that with pricing, package design, package engineering, buyer relationships, etc. So all of that said, when we get to the part where you can ask questions, please keep in mind that this would qualify as public disclosure of an invention. So if you haven't already filed for a patent, or you think you're going to and you haven't done it yet, then this may indeed void your rights to a patent or to file for a patent, because it would be public disclosure. So what I want you to do is hold back any special secret sauce that you've got in what you're doing, okay? So with that, let's dive right in. I'm going to talk for about 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines, and I've got the Q&A for Facebook Live up, and you can join us there on facebook.com/products to profits, or you can listen via the webcast. All right, so defining mission and values. Mission and values are not the same thing. Your values are kind of what really matters to you about your business. And it forms the DNA, if you want to think of it that way, of how you're going to do business. It's the context that your business operates within. So your values give you the container, and then the content of your business is the what and exactly the day-to-day to-dos and logistics of it, okay? So all of that forms what I like to think of as your brand in action in every area of your business, right? So for anybody who has been following Tom's Shoes for a while, Tom's has a buy one, give one model. So they like to do good, and their way of doing it is you buy one pair of shoes, they gift one in third world countries. Now, that model works great. So for them, that's a really strong component of their mission. It's not the only thing that a mission is about, though. And it would be really inconsistent for them as a brand and as a company to do the buy one, give one model and then be horrible to vendors or be abusive to employees, right? So their value system has to flow through every area of their business. Now, the beauty of all of this is that if you have a strong vision and mission in your business, you actually stand a much greater chance of truly succeeding and of making it for the long haul. My favorite example from a good friend of mine, Jamila, is a company that we all know. And their mission statement was written by their founder 100 years ago. And this is now a household name of a company. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a sec here. So values. Values are like ways of being. So let's talk about what a value is. A value is not so much, oh, our value is money. It's more of literally the only phrase I could think is way of being. It's things like, well, our company values. I'll give you ours. Our company values are integrity, teamwork and cooperative effort, being valued, personal growth, creativity, and adding value to people and the greater good. Okay, so those are our values. You could also value the health and well-being of people. You could value beauty, you can grace, fun, sense of humor. There's a million things, right? But it really comes down to what is your company's set of values and what is it that you can get behind and really use to pull you forward. So a value system like integrity calls everything into question, right? If you say that you value integrity, that means you're going to value integrity in the way that you sell, the way that you deliver to clients, and on being whole and complete with projects, okay? So for us, integrity is a really important value. And whenever you declare your value system, it calls you up to a bigger game, which actually has your systems get stronger. So that's part of the purpose of having a very clear set of company values, right? So I'll actually give you some of the examples. I mentioned in the emails that I sent out yesterday that we actually just went through a company retreat that was all about revisiting our purpose and our mission and our values, because frankly, we had delivered on a lot of the things that I started the company to do. It's been 8 years and it was time for a refresh. Plus, as the team grew and as the business opportunities morphed, it was important to actually just go back and revisit and reconnect with what are we doing, why are we doing it, and how well are we doing it, what are our opportunities for growth, okay? So when you are looking at a mission statement or a value statement and you're defining this, there's actually some research that would help you tremendously. And it is Gast's laws. Gast's laws, which is G-A-S-T''S. Gast was I believe he was an economics professor, and he studied the mission statement of many, many companies that were very successful. And he found that the companies that had clear mission statements that met these 6 laws actually did the best over time. They outperformed the stock markets and they grew and they prospered. Kind of cool, right? So I've got a copy of them here for anybody who's watching on Facebook Live. We got it right here. And if this is a topic that's of interest to you, I've actually asked a good friend of mine, Jamila Hasib, if she would be willing to put together a workshop that we could offer and that would walk you through this. So we're setting up what that may look like. So Gast's laws, and I'm going to read them so I make sure I get them right here. A successful business must, 1, produce a want-satisfying commodity or service and continually improve its ability to meet needs. 2, increase the wealth or quality of life of society through economic use of labor and capital. 3, provide opportunities for the productive employment of people. 4, provide opportunities for the satisfaction of normal occupational desires. 5, provide just wages for labor. 6, produce a just return on capital. Okay, so if your mission statement were to meet all of those, then you have a very good chance that your business ultimately will outperform stock market indexes and the majority of other companies. So why is that? You know, I personally believe that it's because you've taken the overall context of your business into account, and the how you want to do business and the why you're doing business are integrated and are solid. And if you keep your missions and values in mind, then you actually will make decisions based on the principles that are important to you, and all of your principles will line up. Okay, so if anybody's interested, I'll just share a couple examples. So like I said, our company's core values are integrity, teamwork, collaborative effort, that being valued, we want everybody to feel valued, personal growth, creativity, and to add value to people and the greater good. Okay, now the way that played out for us when we looked at this, I'm going to read you actually some of our statements, and I haven't shared them publicly until this moment. These are draft for us, but you can kind of get the flavor of how it plays out, right? So our market are people that are creating new products. And so our purpose is this. We are an agency focused exclusively on serving people around the globe who are building product-based businesses that want to sell in the United States. Okay? We only use our talents for good to work on creative products that do not harm people, pets, and planet. Okay? Or we employ creatively productive people who are committed to excellence and collaborative efforts to remove roadblocks for clients. Okay, that one addresses kind of the who we hire, the what they're going to be interested in, and what we want to provide in clients and what we do provide. Okay, so the third area of this for us is we are a good corporate citizen who believes in the confidentiality of IP and who is capable of doing what we say. We take pride in creating financial stability through effective communication that keeps pace with your project. We also have another draft here, through effective implementation of trusted processes that keep pace with your product. The fourth part, we fuel the potential of our employees by fostering a safe environment to develop their skills while expanding the business and their role in it. We have another version here. We provide a safe environment with opportunities for employees to develop their skills as they expand the business and their role in it. You can see that there's you do the values and then craft statements that embody those. And it's a process. You have to kind of draft them and then sit with them. So the fifth one talks about our employees and our compensation and on what we expect from them. So it's this. Our employees are paid higher than average wages for their commitment to delivering timely, high-quality work. Vendors are paid promptly for their services and allowed to make mutually appropriate, sustainable profits. This is kind of our stake in the ground of, look, this is what we're about, right? And then the whole context of a mission also takes into account your investors or your founders and your clients, the whole ecosystem of the finances of the business. So we've got our last part here that I'll share with you. This is draft. We provide a just return on capital for clients, investors, and founders through sound, self-perpetuating business processes. Our graceful use of capital creates plentiful cash reserves to protect from downturns and allows us to handle any opportunities to grow. So there's this overall flavor to the business of foundation building and creativity and abundance and prosperity and teamwork and ecosystem, right? So that's kind of the guts of a mission statement. If you'd like, I'm happy to share the 100-year-old company, one that has stood the test of time. So with that, I'm gonna open up the phone lines for a few questions. We've got a couple minutes here, and I want to know what's important to you. What are the values that you want your company to embody, and what's important to you? What is your product standing for, and how does that expand into your business operations? So if you're on the phone line, you can press *2 to raise your hand, and I am watching the Facebook feed, so you can definitely post questions there, post comments, and we'll add those to the mix. And then if you're on the webcast, you can just type things in the Q&A box and we'll see them there. So with that, okay, we've got a webcast question. Let's see. Can you spell GAST laws again? Okay, it's GAST' laws. And he's an economist. You should be able to find it. So that will help you out there. And your mission statement should answer every one of these sections of GAST laws, every law being accounted for. It will provide the opportunity for your brand to extend into every area of your business. Okay, so let's read the Johnson & Johnson one. Okay, this was written 100 years ago. And my friend Jamila Hasib was gracious enough to give us this copy. And so Johnson & Johnson, our credo. This is a bit long, so I'm only going to read part. We believe our first responsibility is to the doctor, nurses, and patients, to mothers and all others who use our products and services. In meeting their needs, everything we do must be of high quality. We must constantly strive to reduce our costs in order to maintain reasonable prices. Customers' orders must be serviced promptly and accurately. Our suppliers and distributors must have an opportunity to make a fair profit. We are responsible to our employees, the men and women who work with us throughout the world. Everyone must be considered as an individual. We must respect their dignity and recognize their merit. They must have a sense of security in their jobs. Compensation must be fair and adequate, and working conditions clean, orderly, and safe. We must be mindful of ways to help our employees fulfill their family responsibilities. Employees must feel free to make suggestions and complaints. There must be equal opportunity for employment, development, and advancement for those qualified. We must provide competent management, and their actions must be just and ethical. We are responsible to the communities in which we live and work, and to the world community as well. We must be good citizens, support good works and charities, and bear our fair share of taxes. We must encourage civic improvements and better health and education. We must maintain in good order the property we are privileged to use, protecting the environment and natural resources. Our final responsibility is to our stockholders. Business must make a sound profit. We must experiment with new ideas. Research must be carried on, innovative programs developed, and mistakes paid for. New equipment must be purchased, new facilities provided, and new products launched. Reserves must be created to provide for adverse times. When we operate according to these principles, the stockholders should realize a fair return. Okay? So that's the context that Johnson & Johnson's founder created for their business 100 years ago. Pretty amazing, right? That's 100 years ago, before labor unions, before all these other pressures, and this is still what they operate by today. Now, you can make the case that maybe they've wandered from it some or not, but how many of us can really say that we have a corporate mission manifesto, if you will, that stands the test of time of 100 years, right? That is that stake in the ground that we're willing to rally around and cause business to be created by 100 years from now. It's a good game, right? So I really invite you to kind of look at your mission, look at your values inside your business, and sit down and really think about it. We involved our team in this because we wanted to make sure that we had heard the different points of view about what mattered to our customers and to our clients, as well as to our team themselves. All right. So with that, I'm going to go back over to the conference line. If you're on the conference line, you have a question, you can press *2 to raise your hand. Looks like most everybody's on the webcast and the Facebook today. So let me just take another look. Phone lines are clear. Okay. So yes, that was the, there's an online question. Whose mission statement was that? It was Johnson & Johnson's, that example I gave you. So I'm going to recap because we have some people that are joining us just now. And so when you're defining your mission and values for your business, the thing to take away is that it's about putting your brand in action in every area of business and creating the context that you're going to operate with. Okay, so you want to look at Gast's laws and keep your eye out. We are going to probably offer a workshop on this for businesses that want to come to Pasadena and join us. And Jamila Hasib is probably going to lead that. I know some of you on the show that are listening right now have already met Jamila, and she's pretty awesome, so I think you'll really enjoy that. There's some more questions, and there's a lot to dive into here. It took us a day and a half to 2 days to do this. We had to clear off history, looked at what was really rocking and fabulous for us and where we had some opportunities for growth so that we could take everything into account. So with that, If there's no questions on the phone line, I see that the Facebook looks clear. You can, if you're on the phone line, you want to ask a question, press *2 to raise your hand. And I'm going to go over to our webcast Q&A. Great. Webcast is clear. It looks like our phone lines. It's just a Q&A. Great. Oh, you're welcome. So glad that was helpful for you. Your company mission and vision is what your product stands for, what you can be counted on, and the context of your business. It's really important because it will have you create a solid structure inside the business that is flexible enough to stand the test of time, and that also gives you an opportunity to plant your flag, really. It's very important, and it can change your business from just doing what you need to get a product out to being a solid, trusted entity that you can either keep or sell later. Frankly, you know, it opens up flexibility for you. So with that, everybody, I'm going to close out for today. If you're on the Facebook Live, stick there. I'll stick around for another minute or two after we end the show here. And I'm so glad that you could join us. And for all of you that have family and loved ones in Texas, our thoughts are with you. We've been watching Houston closely because of some of our friends and colleagues that are there. And so I'm going to take a moment of silence after the show to send some good prayers and mojo to everybody there for their safety and well-being. So with that, everyone, have a great rest of the week. We will talk with you in 2 weeks.
The conference is now completed.
So,
goodbye.
For everyone on the Facebook Live, I'm so glad you could join us, and I see we've got a bunch of people still hanging. So what is it that's important to you? You know, I want to know what's of value to you, and why are you doing your business? Like, what are the values? If you were going to think for a minute and say what's important to you and what's the value system you want to operate with. For us, ours is integrity, teamwork and cooperative effort, being valued, both our experience of being valued and our clients' experience of mattering to us and being important. Also, creativity is a high value for us, and adding value to people and the greater good. So doing things that matter in the world and that leave the world better for us having been here is really kind of it may sound, well, actually, no, it's just important. And so I would love to know, what are the values that you have? Is it that your product is always high quality, that you provide a fair value for your consumers? You know, there's a lot. Type them in the box right down there. Give us a comment and let me know what it is. We'd love to support you. And we've got a bunch of events coming up here in Pasadena. So with that, I'm going to close out our Facebook Live for today. Watch back. We'll do another one in 2 weeks. And the topic announcements go out over email only. So if you want to get on the reminders list, you can certainly do that. You can go to products2profits.com/product business show, I think it is. We'll put it in a comment for you in a minute. So let's see, we've got somebody typing in, Edra is saying, facilitating freedom of expression and creativity. That's awesome. Like I said, creativity is super important to us. So Edra, thank you so much. How does your product or business do that? Just type it in. So other values that people can have would be not harming the planet, being good for the planet. For us, that's a big one. We only use our talents for good. We only work on products that are good for people, pets, and planet, and that even our employees and staff are growing and dynamic people, and that we support that is an important piece for us. So with that, everybody, have a great rest of your week. This has been the Product Business Show. Feel free to join us. We do this every 2 weeks at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Get on the reminders list by going to productstoprofits.com. And you can check below when we're done with this. We'll post a link to exactly where you can sign up for the email list. We do send out other content and other tips during the email reminders. So they almost always have some extra tidbit. I see a comment from Stacy Stout saying it was interesting and thought-provoking. Stacy, you know, for your product line, your values and your mission are really important. I mean, if you look at a company like Honest Co. or Tom's Shoes or any of the companies like Aveda is a very interesting one that's kind of in your market a bit. And they have such a value system play and a mission-driven business that they are known and they command a premium price on their products because of it. So pay attention to it, all right? I think it would be an interesting conversation to have about your products. So with that, you're welcome, Edra, and I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye.